Welcome to Conversations on Modern Slavery. My name is Brian Lippincott. I'm the head of communications for Free the Slaves and co host this podcast with my colleague, Dr. Marta Furlan, the senior program manager for research at Free the Slaves. Conversations on Modern Slavery takes you inside the global fight to end modern slavery. Each episode features engaging conversations with researchers, survivor leaders, frontline advocates, and policy experts, diving into the root causes, current challenges, and bold solutions driving change. Whether you're new to the issue or deeply involved in this work, this podcast offers fresh insights and powerful stories to inform, inspire, and mobilize. Today's episode is hosted by my colleague, Mohammed Badar, Free the Slaves Regional Director for the Middle East and North Africa, and features a conversation with Missi Resilience, also known as Sherrynorth.
Welcome to Free the Slaves podcast. I'm your host, Mohammed, and today we are honored to be joined by Missi Resilience, also known as Sherrynorth. She is a Ghanaian advocate, storyteller, and host of the podcasts Real Life with Missi and One Way Trip from Home. Through her foundation and media work, she is focused on empowering women, raising awareness about migration, and giving a platform to voices that are often overlooked. Sherry, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Sherry, your story carries both strength and clarity, and I like to begin with your journey. So, when you first decided to leave Ghana, what were you told and what were you not told that shaped your decision?
Hmm. Well, when I first decided to leave Ghana, I was told stories about, having a better life. I was told stories I would have a good job, a good salary, and I was also told that with that I'll be able to support my family, and most importantly, to put myself through education, as I lacked that before, and because it was one of my biggest dreams too. They painted a picture of hope, making it's like believable. As soon as they tell you, you have to believe it. Maybe in the beginning you might be a bit skeptical about it, depending on the country that you're going to go, but then at the end of the day, when you look at the struggles and everything around you, you would definitely believe that hope. And I was looking forward to working in a good condition. And they also stated me having more opportunities there. Well, nobody told me that I was going to face abuse, and then I was going to work for long hours with little and sometimes no rest at all. Nobody told me that my passport was going to be confiscated when I arrived. How I even lost my freedom the moment I landed, I was never told that. They lied. Well, what shaped my decision was a dream, they told me, but they didn't, like, they hide the pain, they hide the risks. That's nearly destroyed me. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. I want to go to the moment that everything shifted, and can you walk us through that moment, how you realized this was not the opportunity you expected and it was a trap?
Well, the very first day I arrived at that particular country, right at the airport, my passport was, confiscated. And I was also expecting to meet my host family, as I was told that I was going to be a nanny. But then when I got there, a different person came to pick me up, like a man, whom I didn't know. But I wasn't really worried. My mind was like, oh, okay, maybe, who knows? My host family might have been the one who sent him to come and pick me. So let me just go along. Well, I was taken into a house and I was ordered to move into one of the rooms upstairs. And as soon as I just opened that door, I saw my African sisters lying down helplessly. That moment really hit me hard because I realized that I'm not free. I've gotten myself into a huge mess. I realized that all their promises was lie because from then on, every day confirmed it. The long hours, the no rest, the no food. And oh my, the fear, the fear alone. That was when I knew that this was not the opportunity they spoke about, but rather slavery in disguise.
I mean, that moment of realization is powerful, and it's also connected to something larger, how systems themselves work. And I think I want to go also behind the systems, but behind that story. I mean, from the recruiters to the airport officials to the workplace, where do you think the system failed you most?
Hmm. Well, I think that the system failed me right from the start, I would say. From the recruiters as they lied and nobody actually stopped them. At the airports too, I believe on that fateful day on the 18th and 19th of April, some officials saw me clearly going to this domestic work, and none of them even asked me questions. If I have to take my mind back to that particular day, if only one official called me and say, "Come into our office, we want to ask you some questions. Where do you think you're going?" Just that alone would have saved me, because I'm a deep thinker. That alone would have saved me from going through all the things that I went through. So I would say the system failed to protect me before I even left Ghana. And then the law favored the employers, not we, the workers, because I have an experience where I had to run to them, to the law, told them my situation, and I was looking forward for help. But they never helped me. They rather give me back to my abusers. They ignored me. So it's like when you cry for help, your voice is being ignored. So for me, the biggest failure was the point of departure. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you described how the system failed, but also your response was to rise above it. And I want to talk about that transformation
Mhm.
also. I mean, escaping is one thing, but turning survival into advocacy is another. What was the first step that transformed you from a survivor into an activist?
Um, the very first step was breaking my silence, because for a very long time I was not okay. I've really been through it all, I always say. I've carried shame and the fear that was inside me was a lot to bear. But the day I had the opportunity to speak in front of a few people, in fact, it started with my Mother African song. When I came, I didn't know how to actually tell my story, and I didn't also know how people were going to accept me for who I am and not judge me for what I've been through, because life is ironic, right? So I composed the Mother African song, which literally told my story. It's like, so you telling your story through music. And then the second was when I got opportunity to speak to a small group, and then later to the public. That was my turning point. I realized my story was not just mine. It carried voices of many, 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 many other people, other survivors, other youth that are trapped, and they are too afraid of, you know, to speak. And at a point, I was also in that, because I'm also afraid to speak. Because what would people think about me? What are people going to say? Are they going to point fingers at me and laugh and all that? But once I was able to stand and then bring it out, I understood that survival was not just the end, but using my voice to stop it from happening to others was the real beginning for me. Thank you.
And from activism to healing, support plays a really critical role. Looking back at the support you received, what actually helped you in your recovery, and what, even with good intentions, didn't help at all?
If I'm to begin again, I would say the Mother African song. And then the second one was the day song. That was like my therapy. Music is therapy. Those words really uplifted me. And most importantly, people who listened, people who believed my potentials, and people who didn't judge me. Um, Simple things like, when you're being treated with dignity, when being given that safe space where you can voice out all you want, and not being laughed at, being given the opportunity and that emotional support. So I say thanks to each and everyone who has supported me through my journey. In fact, if I'm to mention names, I'm going to mention a whole lot of people. Those people really, 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 really did help me. And what didn't help is when people blame uh, me. Probably maybe they don't mean it. When people blame me, for going, um, for traveling in the first place, or maybe when I'm being sidelined and not given the opportunity just because maybe you are limited to certain things. Let's say maybe formal education. Maybe they mean no harm, but um, when one is limited to maybe a formal education or having a strategic education, it doesn't mean the person cannot do it. So that is something that didn't help me at all. But then to the others who really believed my potentials, it helped me a lot to build myself and get to where I am today.
I mean, you spoke a lot about support, and I want us to imagine what could be changed also at the highest level.
Okay.
If you had 5 minutes with leaders in Ghana and
hmm
5 minutes with leaders in those countries in the Gulf, for example, what would you ask them to change immediately?
To the leaders in Ghana, I would say you have to protect your citizens before they leave. We shouldn't let uh, agents and recruiters deceive people so easily. They need to create safe jobs here at home so that desperation doesn't push some of us out. And then to the leaders in the Gulf, I would say that they need to treat workers as humans. No one should have their passport seized. No one should work like a slave. Respect is the right of each and every worker, because dignity should not depend on where someone comes from. So within the 5 minutes, I will just say our life matters and they need to protect it, and the world need each other.
Wow, that is really powerful. Sure. I want also to bring the conversations to those who might be listening to us right now and facing the same decision
Mhm.
you did. Um, there's a young woman listening right now, passport
Mm.
ready, considering the same path you once took. What would you want her to know before she leaves?
Well, I'll tell her that if she's listening to me right now, perhaps maybe with her passport in her hands, ready to go, I want to I want her to just pause and then take a breath. Like she should just breathe for some few seconds. I know maybe she might be going through a lot. Maybe things are not really going the way that she wants. Things are tough, and she's also aiming for a better life. Maybe she might be tired of struggling in Ghana or any part of the world. But I want to say, please, 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 please don't be fooled, because what they promise you out there, out of your country of origin, is not always what is waiting for you there, because behind those shiny words of good job, good pay, better future, can be pain, can be abuse, can even be death. Because sometimes we need to ask this question: why is it that your contract is hidden? Why is it that they're even pushing you to sign those contracts? Why is it that they don't want to tell you the truth? Because they know that once you reach there, your freedom is gone. So I'm not saying that don't travel. I always say this because when you start to advocate, people think you are they are devil. You don't want them to travel. You don't want their life to be better. But what we want to say is traveling is not the enemy, but traveling without the truth is dangerous. So please, before you step on that plane, get the facts right. Talk to people who have returned, not just the agents. Check if the job is real, if the company exists, and even if you would have your own rights protected. Like you need to check if your own rights will be protected. And most importantly, don't let desperation blind you. Don't let it blind you. So my sister, my brother, your life is more valuable than any salary. If the path you are taking will cost you your dignity, your health, and even your life, then it is not worth it. You deserve better and you can build your life right where you are. So please, 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 please Don't let them sell you lies, like just like they did to me. Because if I want to talk about it, that'll be a lot. But thank you so much.
I mean, Sherry, wow, these are very powerful words and very inspirational. I mean, saying traveling without the truth is dangerous. This alone is powerful. I really I have two questions. I'm very curious about it. Sherry North.
Please do.
Um, your sisters, when you first came out from the airport, and you said that you saw them there. Do you know what happened to them afterwards? Um, like, did they have the same journey as you did, or like, do you?
Funny, funny enough, the very day I entered into that room and I saw them lying down helplessly, I had to really dig in a bit and then ask them what is happening. And can you believe some of them were telling me that they've been there for months? Some were even sick, and they never got any medical attention. And some of them, that particular day when I got there, they've not even eaten for days. And the weird thing is, they do pick them out in the night. So every night they'll come in and then take someone out, sometimes in pairs, sometimes three people together or four. And that was how, the ladies keep going, and you have no idea where they are taking them to. So if I say I knew where they took them to, I have no idea until it got to my turn. And I think two other ladies or three. In total, we might be four, and they also took us out when I faced my reality. So I believe that majority of them might probably gone through worse than I have. Um, I don't know if some survived, but so far I've been able to reach out to a few of them, and their story is worse. So it hasn't been good.
I mean, that is very tragic, honestly. Um, Sherry, you mentioned something about, like, when you spoke about hope, and there was that song that gave you hope. I'm really curious. Like, can you tell us? Yeah, can you tell us like the lyrics of that song? Like, if you want to share, with our listeners, our viewers, maybe they can look it up. Um,
It-
that
yes,
song.
please. Yes, please. I'm I'm going to. I hope you don't mind if I do a little bit of singing, but please, I want them to ignore the voice, but listen to the words.
Please, 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 please.
So the first song, that was the Mother Africa, was literally a call to the world, each and every one, because we all have a role to play in this. If we want to curb, or if we want to end human trafficking, it needs to be. It begins with me. It begins with you. It begins with each and every one outside. We all need to play a role to be able to, end it. And the song really talks about the reality on the ground, things that are happening. It goes like this. Away, oh Mother Africa, arise, oh Mama. Awake, oh Mother Africa, arise, oh Mama. We are dying on other man's land, all in the name of what to eat, where to sleep, our family back home, trying to get a better future for your children and great grandchildren. Inhumanity must stop. I'm not a criminal. I was deceived. I was deceived. See me as your sister, see me as your friend. I'm only trying to survive. Please have compassion. Don't beat me, don't abuse me, don't rape me, don't kill me. Migration shouldn't be a death warrant. So that was the Mother African song, which was literally telling the stories of so many other survivors out there, because they all left home. Because of what to eat, some of them were to sleep. I even know stories of other people traveling because of some medical expenses they need to pay. And if the world could come together with kindness and with compassion, imagine maybe I traveled to the Gulf and my dream of wanting to go to school was fulfilled. I was able to work and I was paid. I worked according to the hours that was given, and I had enough hours to even rest. Imagine when I came back, would that be those wouldn't be the story. My story would say, "Wow, kudos to that country," because of them, my dream of wanting to go to school actually came into reality. The story would have been so nice, and it's just like this that we can all come together to make the world a better place. And then the anxiety song, which is the day, is also another experience because I know so many survivors when they come back, they go through a lot of trauma and all that. And with what I've learned so far, some of us have to carry the trauma with us for a very long time. And I dedicated the song to all survivors of trauma who are going through a lot and feel like they can't do it. I wanted the song to give them hope and believe like yes, they are going to see the day. And that one also goes like this. Anxiety whispers, trauma embrace, invisible chains in this endless chase. Anxiety whispers, trauma embrace, invisible chains in this endless chase. But but I will rise from the ashes, find my way through the darkness. I'll see the day, I'll see the day. From the depth of despair, Missy, I will climb. Through shattered dreams, I'll find my prime. Every tear shed, that's the partake. Breaking free from the chains that ache. Hunted by the shadows, yet I stand tall. Defying the echoes of my downfall. With every breath, Missy, we claim my voice. A testament, resilience, my choice. And all the songs are on Apple Store, um, Apple Music, if anyone would love to, stream them up.
Wow. Wow, Sherry. I am speechless. I'm speechless. I mean, but I will rise from the ashes. And I mean, Missy, thank you for sharing, honestly. Thank you for sharing your honesty, your resilience. You're very inspirational, and I hope this message reaches the most amount of people possible.
Praise so.
And
I praise.
and your voice not only tells a story of survival, it's offers a blueprint of empowerment and change. Sherry, any last words, advice?
Ah, I always have this saying that one a day is worth two tomorrow. So to each and everyone out there, whatever you are facing, whatever you put in front of you that you want to do it, even though you might not be able to do it all at once. If you want to use the process in planting, you first have to do the weeding. You plant your maize one after the other before it grows small. You need to prune, and then it goes like that. The same thing about life. Just believe that one a day, if you are able to do one thing a day, it is going to be worth two tomorrow.
Jerry, thank you so much. And
Thank
to our
you.
guests and to our listeners, thank you for joining us. This has been Free the Slaves podcast. And until next time, stay engaged, stay aware, and let's continue working together for a world free from slavery. Thank you.
Thank